Just coming in. Wait for everybody to get in here. There we go. Hey, Nicole. Hi, Therese. Hi, everyone. How is everybody? Long time no see. I know y'all didn't think I was going to leave you hanging with the Christmas star going on tonight, right? The baby is good. She is upstairs playing in her crib, watching her TV show. Good to see you, Therese. Hi, Angela. So good to see you guys. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, she's upstairs and she's playing in her crib, watching her little show. So she'll fall asleep soon and then she'll wake up around 11 or 12 and then go back to sleep. I know her habits. So I know y'all didn't think that I was going to leave you hanging for December 21st, the biggest event in several hundred years. Yeah, she is a bug. She's a little cutie bug. She's a cutie bug. So yeah, I was sitting here and I'm like, this is the biggest happening in astrology right now. How could I leave them hanging with nobody to explain some of this stuff to them? It can get so confusing. Who else we have in here? I'm just giving everybody time to get in because they might just be getting home. Yeah, Therese, I got pictures. I think I'm in a place where I can't see it, unfortunately for me. So is everybody excited about this Christmas star? You should be. Good. It's a big happening. It's a big happening. And so I couldn't just leave you guys with no information on it. I even took notes, although I know it. It's just things, pointers I wanted to bring up for you guys on what you should be looking for. This star is so important because, okay, let me start. 800 years ago, these two particular planets lined up. They were in conjunction, and they created a star so bright that they called it the Star of Bethlehem. I don't know much about the whole biblical version. I'm not somebody who reads into the Bible, but what I do know is that 800 years ago was the last time we had this particular lineup. It did happen 400 years ago, but the degrees to which the planets were in conjunct were off. So this is the closest we've had since 800 years ago. And the star is super important for a number of different reasons. Where to start? Oh my goodness. It's like an entire discussion. That's why I said in the thing, Christmas star discussion. That way we could get out any questions, and if I can answer them and I'm able, I will. But I couldn't just leave you guys stranded with no answers. I had to hop on here, even though I look like something the cat just dragged out of the trash can, but that's okay. But yes, 8 centuries ago is the last time we had a conjunction this close. 4 centuries ago was kind of a tease because it didn't line up quite right. The degrees were off. So the last time these two planets, which is Jupiter and Saturn, guys, came into conjunction under an air sign, was 800 years ago. It comes into conjunction in an earth sign every 20 years. But this particular conjunction is falling underneath an air sign, underneath Aquarius. And so we're coming into the age of Aquarius as well. You're going to see a lot of changing in communication. Hey, Cake, welcome back. You're going to see a lot of change in communications, the way things are handled. I think you're starting to see some of that change now. But today it's important because, hey, Kanisha, today it's important because of the fact that it appears to be a double planet. The percentage in which it's aligned is 0.1 degrees apart. So it will appear as like a super planet. You'll see both planets. And so it'll look like a huge star. But it will be both the planets aligned. And they're only off by 0.1 degree. So this is huge. Okay, it doesn't, last time it fell under an air sign was 400 years ago, and the time before that, where it was the closest in conjunction, was 800 years ago. So we're seeing a piece of history because it may not come in conjunction again for another 400 to 800 years. It will come in conjunction in an earth sign. But although it is possible we could see it in about 20 years. It's very confusing, and that's why I thought I'd hop on and see what questions you guys had and if I could help answer some of those. Hello, Muhammad. Welcome. So we're looking at two super planets coming in conjunction with each other and forming what appears to be like a super planet in the sky. It's like a shining star. You can't miss it. For those of you that can see it, you can't miss it. I've been getting pictures of it from my friend who could see it, and I can't. So I'm super sad. And you have to remember, these are the two largest planets as well. So we're not talking about little tiny planetary alignment and you see a little star. We're talking about giant gas planets. And they're aligning just perfectly to create a double planet, a star in the sky for you guys to see. That's amazing. Especially within 0.1 degrees of each other. That's just amazing. And they're in Aquarius at 0 degrees. I know that's very confusing, but they're 0.1 degrees apart. And they're in Aquarius at 0 degrees. So it's literally like dead on Aquarius right there. The Star of Bethlehem, though. Yes, blessed be to all of you. The Star of Bethlehem, though, I believe, if I'm not incorrect, was Jupiter conjunct with Venus. So this wouldn't be the Star of Bethlehem. This time Jupiter is conjunct with Saturn. So they just call it the Christmas star. Am I confusing you guys all yet? You're so quiet. I just want to make sure my stream is running okay here too, because sometimes mine lags. Is my chat working? Okay, good. Nicole and Kayleen, I think that says. So, as long as you guys can hear me and it's not coming out funky, then we're good. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So yes, the Star of Bethlehem is actually Jupiter conjunct with Venus. It's not conjunct with Saturn. And right now, Jupiter is conjunct with Saturn. So the Star of Bethlehem, this actually isn't it. Not all conjunctions are equal. This will be the closest since I think it was 1623. However, it's closest observable. Let me explain it that way. That way you can see it. You'll be able to actually see it in the night sky. Since 1226. 1226 is the last time you could actually observe it in the sky. Whereas the time before that, it wasn't as close. You couldn't really see it. Hey, Zenith. And so that makes this one particularly special because this is the first time since 1226 that we're able to actually see it without the help or aid of modern technology. You can actually just snap pictures of it in the sky. And that's the difference between what's going on. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I thought I was getting on here looking ragged. They are saying that it will set by 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. So it won't be as observable once it sets. Jupiter is often thought of as the planet of luck. Something to see only, or does it mean something to us? Maureen, it actually means a lot. It's a change in, and I'm going to get into that. It's a change in modern society, the way we communicate, the way we handle things, our ideologies, things like that. But I'm going to take it a little slow because I know that all of this conjunct, degrees and this and that can be very confusing, and I don't want to confuse anybody. That's not why I'm here. So I'll spell it out for you guys, like what you really need to know. But Jupiter, which we call the planet of luck, is actually the largest planet in our entire solar system. You can fit I think they said it was 11 Earths across its equator. That's how big it is. It's a gas giant. So we're talking a massive planet here. 1 day is equal to 10 hours. Whereas we have, okay, let me explain it this way. 1 day is 10 hours on Jupiter. A year is equal to 12 Earth years. So if you can think of it that way, 1 day is only 10 hours on Jupiter. Our years are equivalent to 12 years there. Now, of all the equations you can make from that, the thing that strikes me the most is how many years it is. A year is equal to 12 Earth years. So by the time, I forgot. Sorry, I don't understand your comment, Zenith. It's equivalent to 12 Earth years. It's 1 year. And it could hold life. You never know. But Saturn, which we call the jewel of the solar system, does have its own moons and could definitely hold life. Whether it's life as we know it or life as they know it is a different story. So many things happened this month that are going to be affecting what's going on with our astrology. So many things have happened. So on December 13th and 14th, debris from an asteroid crashed into Earth, creating shooting stars. And that's the Geminids meteor shower. So that happened. Then we've had all of these eclipses. And now we've got a Saturn Jupiter conjunction on top of it. So as you guys might have noticed, the world is changing. The way we communicate, the way we work. We're all working from home. The way we behave, we're all very much to ourselves. We don't walk up and greet each other anymore. It's 6 feet away with a mask on. You can see all of these changes in the daily life. And then you also see civil unrest. So that's another sign showing that we're emerging into this age of Aquarius. This is one of those major turning points for us. And this is where I answer your question, okay? This is a major turning point for us. This particular alignment reminds me of the death and transition card. Okay? Because this is a time to put forward major goals that you want to work long term on. Hey, Janet Lynn. You want to put forth major goals that you want to work on. You want to put forth your best foot at this time. It's immensely important to people who are taking their astrology seriously, taking their spirituality seriously, and taking all of this as a way of life, okay? Because it's also falling on the winter solstice, which is the longest night of the year. Now, the longest night of the year and the winter solstice was extremely important to those who were economically independent. Economically dependent. I'm trying to find the best ways to describe this without confusing you guys. I'm sorry, Zenith. So people used to depend on the solstice, okay? And why? Because there were certain months through which the northern hemisphere would starve and the southern hemisphere would starve, okay? Starvation was common during January to April in the northern hemisphere. It was common. And then July through October in the southern hemisphere are referred to as the famine months. So each of these groups here, this January through April in the north and July through October in the south, are famine months. People used to keep stores and stores of food because of this. And right now we're seeing signs of that again. They're talking about food shortage and all of this. So we're seeing signs of that again. So it's equally important that we're paying attention to these details as we go. But it's a good time to put really dark days behind you and get started on major life goals that you've always wanted, something that you've been waiting to put into the works. This is the time to do it. This is definitely the time to do it. See what I have in my old notes here. Well, Jupiter being the planet of luck and Saturn being the planet of authority, they call it the Great Conjunction. It occurs literally at 0 degrees Aquarius. And it is the best for long-term goals. But when I think of it as the death and transformation card in the tarot, it's decay and reconstruction. So the old ways of doing things are falling apart, and we're seeing that as an entire world. The whole entire world has changed. Okay? And old ways of doing things are decaying, where reconstruction of new things is starting. How this turns out, none of us knows. How it works out, none of us knows. We're all just praying for the best. But it's the breakdown of an old foundation, our old way of doing things, our old way of communication and work and careers and college. It's trying to think of the best. It's really out with the old, in with the new. And then the rebuilding of society. Right now we're having civil unrest, and now we're going to have to rebuild what's been lost and rebuild it in a different way that works for the people and the government. I mean, this all gives you a brand new start when you think about it. It gives you a brand new lease on life. Those goals you always wanted to accomplish, you can now do so. Thanks, Zenith. If anybody hasn't dropped a like yet, could you please? Thank you. So when you think about it, it's giving you a brand new lease on life, a brand new lease on things that that you couldn't really get a handle on before. Now is that time to bust out that business that you've been telling yourself you're going to start. Now's that time. Start it, and being under Aquarius, plan long term though. Okay? Plan long term. This isn't just going to be one of those goals that you put out there, you meet it, and you're done. This is going to be one of those things where you'll have long-term hard work, but long-term success. And nothing's better than being successful after efforts you've put in. You're actually going to see the results. But this is a time, guys, where the divine are telling you it's time to take action in your life. Time to take action in your life. So all those old habits, all those bad habits, all of that toxicity or addiction, or all of those things that weigh you down in the 3D, it's time to take action and get rid of those. This is a time for inner child work. And if you guys are confused on that, you can always email me. My email will be going down the feed. You can always email me, and I do handle inner child work. I also do private readings, blah, blah, blah. Box below. So this great conjunction shapes a historical trend and eras. It's resulting in a time of immense change. Okay, so we're talking about eras here. We're talking about okay, Tyler, well, you're entitled to feel that way. So, Crystal, we may need an Oreo. That just threw me off my game a little bit. So anyway, this is entering into an age of technological and ideological advances. Okay, these are, thank you. These are your long-term goals. These are your new ways of working, learning, building with one another. Taking charge, taking action in your lives. You're going to see progressive social activism. You are. You're going to see, you're already seeing it, okay? Progressive social activism. But this is a time where it's kind of magical as well, because you're bringing your dreams into reality. I'm glad to hear that, Kanisha. I am glad to hear that. You're bringing your dreams to reality. It can, Valerie. It all just depends on what relationship you personally are engaging in, honey. By the way, hi, Val. It's good to see you, sweetie. But this is a time to bring your dreams to reality. Bring that business you always wanted to start and bring your A game. Because this is a time of huge change, social activism, ideology, like a whole new era. Yes, donations are greatly appreciated, and Crystal has the information if you would like to donate. I also wanted to give a big shout out to the donations that I received today randomly, and thank you so much, guys. I guess people thought it would be really sweet to just randomly donate for Christmas. So I appreciate that. You know, it goes to the baby. So bust out that A game. No matter what sign you are, bust out that A game, okay? And bring it. Because this is the time to get it done. Okay, Tyler. They're not black magic, but okay. We're just going to ignore Tyler, okay? Because he's trolling, so Crystal will take care of that. But bring your A game. Yeah, you already know, Kanisha. Crystal is on it. She knew the minute I said something. So, you know, take this great conjunction as a huge change. A huge opportunity and a new lease of life, guys. Okay? I cannot tell you. I am going to put my business plans into action. I'm going to manifest what I need right now with this business. I'm going to manifest it. But take action. Be a part of your life. Take action and be an active part in changing your life. How amazing is this that we won't see this again for another 800 years? Now you guys know the backstory that I told you in the beginning. That's why I told you. Hi, Tanya. Yes, they should be coming to fruition. The Great Conjunction is a time for manifestation. And this is the first time since the 1800s that it even falls under an air sign. We're talking about, yes, it is a manifesting time. So what you need and what you want, manifest, manifest, manifest. Hey, Israel. Welcome. Come on in. Have a seat. This is a time to manifest everything that you need and to put into action all of these goals that you've been holding on to, or something you've been too scared to start. If you've been too scared to start it, get on it now. There's your brand new lease of life. You have no reason right now why you're going to come to me and be like, Kelly, things aren't working out. Of course, I'm going to help you fix it because I love you guys. But you're very welcome, Zenith, anytime. That's what I'm here for. And I'm here and I'm trying to make it less confusing for you guys. I just love you guys. Thank you so much. As much of a psychological shift as a material one. So we're seeing a psychological shift, and we're seeing that go to psychological from material. Oh, I love y'all too, Tanya, Kanisha, my hearts. I love you guys. The moon, and in the middle of this, the moon is waxing. It's at its waxing crescent phase. So it's kind of a good time to really get started on your moon magic and what your goals are going to be for the new moon, for the full moon. Get everything together. Even if you have to sit down, write out a business plan, write down the details, plan long term. What is this going to look like in 10 years? What am I going to benefit from it? If you're looking to start long-term relationships, now is the time as well. Depending on the relationship, I would think. You'd have to have a personal reading for that. I'm capable of such, so if you need one, box below. But just know, guys, that it's as much a psychological shift as a material one. So things are really shifting right now. We're seeing a shift in the masses of people. We're seeing a shift in the government. We're seeing, and we're not just talking about our government. We're talking about government all over the world. We're talking about the UN, okay? We're seeing shifts there. Good for you, Kanisha. Good for you, girl. Them claps in for you. You get it. Get that money, period. You already know. So just as much as it's a psychological shift, you're going to see a material one as well. That's just the way it's going to be. Going forward, we're probably going to have new ways of working. A lot of it's probably either going to be from home or what have you with the virus around. This is all happening under the age of Aquarius. Okay, so we're seeing us move into Aquarius, and as we do, we're seeing a shift in... Hello, Lemon Tree. Welcome, come on in. Have a seat. We're just chatting away. So just some FYI stuff. I figured I'd just give you guys a little rundown of what planets have rulership over a rundown of where the planets are right now. Okay? So Mercury is in Sagittarius. We've got Venus in Sagittarius. We've got Mars in Aries. Jupiter and Saturn are in Aquarius. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus. Neptune is in Pisces, and Pluto is in Capricorn. So that's where everybody is. Good for you, Valerie. I didn't want to go to bed like that. I'm so happy, Kanisha. Good. Get that energy, girl. Get that energy, girl. Yes. Well, right now you have Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Yeah, Mars has been in Aries. It went retro for a while, and it was like, I'm an Aries sun, a Leo moon, an Aries rising, and a Mars Leo. Yeah, I'm over this year too, Tanya. But yes, when I have Mars in Aries, it drives me a little crazy. A lot crazy. Yeah. But That's where everybody is right now. So Mercury in Sag, Venus in Sag, Mars in Aries, Jupiter and Saturn, of course, the great conjunction is in Aquarius. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus. And wait, what? Hey, hesitated. I'm not sure what time there, honey. I know that it was going to set by 6:30 Mountain Standard Time, is what I understand. So even if you missed it or it's not visible from where you're at, you can always have friends who can see it take pictures with their regular cameras. It's that visible that you can see it in the sky. I mean, it's massive. So it's not just like any star. It is huge, huge, huge. So you should be able to see. Hey, James, welcome. And then we've got Neptune in Pisces and Pluto in Capricorn. Yes. So, now I guess we could go over a couple of planets as well. How the sun is your ego, yourself. And if you guys have questions, you can just pop in. Hey, Shannon. You guys can just pop up with questions if you have them, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. But I figured I'd go over some basic information as well. Since we're talking about the planets, we might as well talk about the sun, the moon, Mercury, what those all stand for when you see them in your chart. The sun is your ego, yourself. How you see yourself. Where the moon is your emotion and your mood. Hi, AK. Mercury is how you communicate. So when you're hearing all this stuff coming up in your chart and they say the big six, they're talking about your sun, your moon, your rising, Mercury, Mars, and Venus. Those are your big six. 4 out of my big 6 are fire signs. Oh, I like that, Tanya. That's a beautiful lineup. She's great, AK. She's upstairs playing in her crib, watching her little show. So those are your big 6. Where can you find them? You can find them on your birth chart, okay? You have to know, in order to get information, you have to know your exact birth time, though.